1. Suffering as the gateway to knowledge. Suffering is often seen as something to avoid, suppress, or escape. In the modern world, discomfort is treated as a problem to be fixed immediately, whether through medication, distraction, or denial. But in the deeper spiritual traditions, suffering holds a very different role. It is not the enemy. It is the teacher. True spiritual knowledge, wisdom that changes one's inner being, is rarely born from comfort. Instead, it often arises in moments of deep pain, loss, or inner struggle. Why? Because suffering forces us to stop. It breaks the momentum of the unconscious life. It compels us to ask, why am I in pain? What is out of balance? What am I missing? This questioning marks the beginning of inner transformation. Mental suffering, such as anxiety, despair, or confusion, provides a unique opportunity for growth. The mind is an accessible realm, and with conscious introspection, we can uncover the patterns, beliefs, and desires that create our distress. Many spiritual paths, such as Raja Yoga, focus on purifying the mind and heart through discipline, meditation, and ethical living. They teach that mental pain is not random. It is often the result of attachment, false perception, or resistance to truth. When these are removed, the suffering dissolves. Physical pain, on the other hand, is more primal and less controllable. It reminds us of our vulnerability, our mortality, and the limitations of the body. While some pain is unavoidable, such as that caused by injury or illness, other types of physical suffering may arise from lifestyle imbalances, unconscious habits, or repressed emotions. In these cases, the pain is not meaningless. It is a signal. When we learn to listen to the body and explore its messages, we often uncover areas of misalignment in our lives. However, the spiritual path does not ask us to become immune to pain. Great teachers from all traditions have suffered. What matters is how we relate to suffering, whether we resist it with fear and resentment, or embrace it as a crucible of awakening. The perfected human being is not someone who never feels pain, but someone who does not multiply it with mental turmoil. They feel the wound, but not the bitterness. They experience the ache, but remain inwardly free. When we pass through suffering consciously, it burns away what is false in us, our illusions, our arrogance, our denial. What remains is clearer, purer, closer to truth. This is the alchemy of pain, the transformation of raw experience into wisdom. As the ancient mystics have said, in the crucible of pain, the dross of ignorance is burned away. Thus, suffering is not just something to endure, it is something to learn from. When approached with awareness and humility, it becomes the gateway to deeper knowledge, true healing, and the unfolding of the soul. 2. Transcendence through softening, not hardening. When confronted with suffering, many instinctively harden. We brace ourselves, numb the pain, shut down emotionally, or build inner walls to keep discomfort at bay. This reaction is understandable. After all, pain is unpleasant, and the human psyche is wired to avoid it. But in the spiritual path, this strategy of hardening ultimately leads to stagnation and suffering of a different kind, disconnection from the soul. True transcendence does not arise from denial or resistance. It arises through softening, through courageously turning toward pain with an open heart and a quiet mind. When we try to escape suffering by numbing ourselves, whether through substances, distractions, or emotional detachment, we not only suppress the pain but also block the messages it carries. Pain, in both its physical and emotional forms, is a signal. It speaks of imbalance, misalignment, or falsehood. To ignore it is to miss an invitation for transformation. In ancient traditions such as Buddhism and Sufism, the way forward is not through hardening the heart, but by awakening compassion, first for oneself, then for others. This inner tenderness is not weakness. It is clarity and strength. The softened heart does not collapse under suffering. It receives it, studies it, and allows it to pass through, without clinging or resistance. This softening is also a kind of inner alchemy. When we stop running from pain, we begin to ask deeper questions. What am I being shown? Where have I misunderstood? What needs healing within me? These questions unlock insight. They direct the seeker inward, where true answers lie, not in the avoidance of suffering, but in the wisdom it can reveal. Attempts to become insensitive, especially through extreme physical discipline or emotional suppression, may seem like strength on the outside, but often lead to spiritual blindness. Traditions such as Hatha Yoga, when misused to deaden the body's sensitivity, were long warned against by the sages of India. This form of so-called black yoga may produce astonishing feats, but without moral clarity and heart-centered awareness, it leads nowhere spiritually. True spiritual growth cannot bypass the heart. By contrast, paths such as Raja Yoga, Christian mysticism, and the teachings of the prophets emphasize inward transformation through love, humility, and awareness. They do not seek to escape suffering, but to transmute it into compassion, understanding, and virtue. The one who suffers consciously and remains inwardly open becomes a vessel of light. Thus, real strength is not in becoming impervious, but in becoming receptive to truth, to healing, to higher guidance. To transcend suffering is not to avoid it, but to soften into it, let it work on the soul, and allow it to awaken deeper dimensions of being. In this softening, we discover a quiet resilience, an inner peace that is untouched by chaos and rooted in love. 3. Dreams as a medium of knowledge. Sleep is not the absence of consciousness. It is a shifting of consciousness. While the body rests and the waking mind quiets, the deeper layers of the self begin to stir. In this altered state, the spiritual aspect of the human being remains alert, active, and perceptive in ways that elude the daytime mind. Dreams, then, become a powerful medium through which knowledge is received, processed, and sometimes revealed. Ancient civilizations and esoteric traditions recognized this. From the prophetic dreams of Joseph in the Bible, to the philosophical musings of Cicero and Aristotle, to modern depth psychologists like Carl Jung, dreams have long been honored as more than random mental activity. They are bridges, linking the waking mind with the unconscious, and at times, connecting the soul with the divine. Carl Jung described dreams as a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the psyche. Through that door pass symbols, archetypes, repressed emotions, spiritual insights, and sometimes prophetic visions. The dream world operates in its own language, a symbolic language, which must be carefully studied and interpreted. Just as ancient seers interpreted omens and celestial signs, the modern spiritual seeker must learn to read their dreams with discernment and humility. In the esoteric traditions of Islam, Judaism, and early Christianity, dreams were often seen as visions sent by angels or as messages from higher realms. Sufi mystics cultivated states of spiritual purity precisely to enhance their receptivity during sleep. Likewise, Eastern traditions such as Tibetan Buddhism developed entire dream yoga practices to remain conscious and lucid during the dream state, allowing practitioners to explore the subtle realms of mind and reality more directly. Yet not all dreams are spiritual or meaningful. Many arise from the digestion of daily impressions, emotional residues, or bodily states. The key is discrimination, to distinguish between psychological echoes and genuine inner guidance. This requires self-knowledge, emotional clarity, and ethical discipline. A person lost in fear, fantasy, or ego may misinterpret even a true dream, turning it into a projection of their desires or anxieties. Nevertheless, repeated symbols, vivid imagery, and emotionally charged dream experiences often carry deeper significance. They are reflections of what the soul is processing, or what the subconscious is attempting to surface into awareness. The more one attunes to their dream life, by journaling, reflecting, and meditating upon dreams, the more accurate their inner perception becomes. Ultimately, dreams remind us that truth is not only found through waking logic or external learning. The soul speaks in the silence of night, in symbols painted on the canvas of sleep. For the awakened seeker, each dream becomes an opportunity to understand the self, to glimpse hidden realities, and to walk more consciously on the path of transformation. 4. Examples of prophetic and symbolic dreams. Throughout history, dreams have served as windows into realities beyond the reach of ordinary perception. While many dreams may simply reflect daily life or internal emotions, there are extraordinary cases in which dreams reveal future events, hidden truths, or symbolic messages that defy conventional explanation. These examples reveal the deep and often mysterious psychic or spiritual dimension of the dream world. Prophetic dreams, those that accurately foreshadow future events, have been documented across cultures, centuries, and spiritual traditions. One might dream of a crime yet to occur, a distant relative's passing, or even their own death, only to find these events manifest with striking detail. While skeptics may dismiss these as coincidences or subconscious pattern recognition, the precision and emotional weight of such dreams often suggest a deeper force at work, what many esoteric traditions consider the soul's contact with the subtle realms, or the divine mind revealing what is to come. Famous historical figures, including Abraham Lincoln, Julius Caesar, and the biblical Joseph, reported dreams that anticipated major events. Lincoln, for example, described a vivid dream in which he walked through the White House to find a funeral in progress, only to learn that he himself had been assassinated. A few days later, this vision became reality. Such dreams operate beyond logical deduction. They are messages from a higher or inner intelligence, communicating in the only way the unconscious can, through images and symbols. Other dreams may appear mysterious, but have physical or psychological causes. For instance, someone with tooth pain might dream of being punched in the mouth, or a person sleeping in a cold room may dream of being submerged in icy water. These are examples of symbolic representation, where the unconscious mind encodes real sensations or anxieties into dream metaphors. The pain or stimulus is translated into the dream's own narrative and symbolic logic. Even in these cases, such dreams offer important insight. They demonstrate how the subconscious weaves sensory input into meaningful storylines, often amplifying the emotional undertones of our daily lives. In this way, dreams reveal not just surface-level stimuli but our deeper reactions to them, our fears, desires, and inner conflicts. In both prophetic and symbolic forms, dreams act as a language of the soul, a form of non-verbal communication between the conscious self and the deeper, often divine aspects of mind and spirit. To benefit from this language, one must learn to observe patterns, reflect on symbols, and maintain a sense of humility. Not every dream is profound, but many are more meaningful than they first appear. Ultimately, dreams remind us that we are not limited to the waking world for insight. The dream space is a sacred mirror, reflecting both what lies within us and, at times, what lies ahead. 5. The nature of the dream state. The dream state is a mysterious and liminal realm, one in which the ordinary laws of time, space, and logic are suspended. Within this altered state of consciousness, the mind is liberated from the physical body's limitations, allowing for experiences that are both deeply personal and symbolically rich. In dreams, the imagination becomes the architect of reality. What is felt becomes seen, what is thought becomes form, and what is hidden often rises to the surface. This fluid nature of dreaming means that dreams are seldom literal. Instead, they communicate through allegory and symbolism. A storm may reflect inner turmoil. Clear skies may mirror emotional peace. A rose might express love or hidden pain, while a collapsing bridge could signify a spiritual or emotional breakdown. These symbols, drawn from the dreamer's own subconscious or from collective archetypes, speak a language beyond words, a language of the soul. Spiritual and esoteric traditions have long recognized the dream state as a space where the boundary between the human and the divine can thin. Many teachings distinguish between four primary types of dreams, each with different origins and purposes. A. Common dreams. These arise from the residues of daily life, conversations, emotions, habits, or even what one eats before bed. They are shaped by the subconscious mind working through unresolved tension or mental clutter. While these dreams may reflect our mental and physical health, they rarely carry profound insight. B. Prophetic dreams. These emerge from intuition or higher perception and often point toward future events or hidden truths. In prophetic dreams, the dreamer may receive a warning, a vision of coming change, or a solution to a current dilemma. Though their symbols may still be veiled, prophetic dreams carry a distinct clarity and emotional resonance that sets them apart. C. Divine dreams. Occurring rarely and often in times of deep spiritual alignment or need, divine dreams are believed to come from angels, spirit guides, or even God. These dreams often carry a sense of sacredness or light. The dreamer may receive direct guidance, hear divine words, or experience a transcendent presence. Such dreams are life-altering and leave a lasting spiritual imprint. D. Demoniac dreams. These arise from lower astral forces, unresolved trauma, or destructive emotions such as fear, lust, or anger. They often include chaotic, violent, or disturbing imagery. Though unpleasant, they offer an opportunity for shadow work, to confront the aspects of ourselves or our experiences that need healing and integration. Ultimately, the dream state is not random. It is a mirror of consciousness, a symbolic theater where the inner self communicates with the waking mind. To understand our dreams is to engage in a form of spiritual literacy, learning to decode the messages from deeper layers of the psyche and beyond. With patience, reflection, and intuition, dreams can become powerful guides on the journey of transformation. Philosophical conclusion. Suffering and dreaming as portals to wisdom. Both suffering and dreaming stand as profound gateways to higher knowledge, each inviting the soul to journey inward, to confront illusion, and to awaken a deeper understanding of existence. Though they appear to arise from opposite realms, one rooted in waking pain, the other in the veiled landscape of sleep, they share a common aim, the transformation of consciousness. Suffering is the teacher few welcome, but all must face. It exposes what is false, unsustainable, or misaligned in our lives. Whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, suffering compels us to pause and question. In this way, pain becomes an alchemical force. When met with courage and honesty, it purifies the heart, reveals hidden attachments, and strips away illusions. What remains is clarity, humility, and the fertile ground for authentic growth. Dreaming, on the other hand, invites us into a symbolic world where the rational mind loosens its grip and the soul speaks in metaphor. Through dreams, we glimpse deeper truths about ourselves, our wounds, and even the future. Some dreams reflect our subconscious landscape, while others seem to come from beyond us, bearing sacred insight or prophecy. Interpreted with discernment and openness, they illuminate the unseen dimensions of our lives. Together, suffering and dreaming form a dual path of revelation, one through the fire of experience, the other through the veil of mystery. They challenge us to develop inner vision, not just to see, but to understand. They call for ethical living, inner silence, and reverence for the unknown. In embracing both, we move closer to wholeness. We discover that truth is not always found in the noise of the world, but often in the quiet spaces where the soul listens, reflects, and remembers what it already knows.